What's up YouTube, COD4Man221 here, and welcome back to our Company of Heroes 2 online replay. I know it's been a long time, it's been about 10 days or so since I did one of these. I was on vacation and then was getting back to school, so yeah, not really too much of an excuse, but I've been doing a lot of the island life thing also. You guys feel free to check out that video. It's a little bit different. I'm telling more of a story of Cop 13, Cop Charles. Anyway, back to Company of Heroes 2, obviously. This is not like a roleplay thing. So, I am playing as the Germans. We are playing with Juicebox, who's under an alias, and Classic Nick, obviously. We're going up against these three guys, all from Mother Russia. Well, all Russians. And they actually spoke at us in Russian and get a little angry later on, so we'll have to see about that. So, like I was talking about, you need to set up a battle plan. So, the battle plan is, Nick will take the center, Juicebox will come on the far left, Juicebox is the yellow color, and I am blue, so I'm going to be taking the right, and then we'll see how it goes. Looks like our enemies so far are heading to the left here, going right after the fuel. So let me talk a little bit about my strategy initially. I have a machine gun coming out first, so my goal is basically to put the machine gun along this ridge right here, probably by this tree, cover the valley down below this road, and then I'm going to have my pioneers capture the fuel. Now this way, I'm hoping that my MG will be able to cover me from any troops that are in the valley there, direct my engineers, my pioneers, my combat pioneers, and then I'm also grabbing my grenadier squad, which is out just about this same time here, and they are going to cover my MG. So we're going to basically be covering each other's back. The MG will cover the engineers' back, the grenadiers will cover the MG. The MG will cover the engineers' back, the pioneers' back, and the grenadiers will cover the MG's back. There we go. So you can see the guys are making aggressive pushes so far to the left, and it looks like two of them are going to double the center initially. Now, Company of Heroes 2 has changed a lot. In a major patch change video, and so far, I'm not a big fan. The combat, honestly, it seemed fine before. There's a lot of blobs, but infantry just seems so much more expendable, and they die a hell of a lot quicker now. Like, you can look at that health, just, you know, like, you can, it seems like units are able to, you know, get killed easier, much easier, and, I get they're trying to combat the blobs, but there's other ways, there's tools in the games to do that, but I don't think the major patch changes they've done so far, and I played only 2 matches since they did the update because I was on vacation, but I don't think making the units easier to kill necessarily is going to stop people from blobbing up. The only way they're going to learn not to blob up is to get defeated by the strategies I've showed you guys in this season, the season before. Holding them down with MGs, using grenades, setting up defensive fires, setting up crossfires, you know. Just like basic stuff like that will help you defeat a blob, because a blob is also a ton of manpower, artillery, mortar, Stuga will do great, Katyushas with the precision strike. Yeah, I mean, you can be pretty good with all of that. Anyway, enough about complaining about blobs here. So you can see I've put a machine gun right here guarding this road. Now I was talking about crossfire a second ago, and I'm gonna move this machine gun up so we can. I'm gonna basically fortify. If he's gonna give me this right side of the map here, then I'm like, you know what? Why not? I will fortify along this side, put barbed wire, just make it hard for him to head up. You know, this is after all hill 331 the map, so you know, might as well, you know, defend the hill, right? And my pioneers are in the back capturing some nice missions for us. Now, Nick has not captured this point. There's a little bit of a mistake at this point because every one of these points gives you 5 munitions and 3 fuel. So it's important to get that fuel early on. You know, it makes, I like that they added that. Initially, the standard territory points did not mean anything. You know, you just capture them, but then they added a little bit of resource. You know, you should reward someone for having more map control than someone else. Anyway, so you can see Nick is moving up, and all these conscripts are defending the hill. They are in cover currently, defending the trenches. You know, this, I think this is a Company of Heroes 1 map, Hill 331, or Hill 330, I think it's one of those two. I should know that. I think it's 331. I'm gonna double check it while we're here. Anyway, so, yeah, no damage is being done to those guys. They're in heavy cover. I don't even think Nick has a proper arc of fire. Can even really see them through there. And I'm moving up some troops to help support Nick. You can see I'm starting to fortify down here. And I'm putting a bunker there, and I aim on my MG to provide double. Yeah, it's still 331. That's what I thought. I was right. And yeah, so these guys are here. Now, I was talking about, okay, you know, you gotta be aware of possible light vehicles coming, maybe even a scout car with some snipers or flamethrowers. With the combat engineers. So I do have currently right here a grenadier squad. I think it's always important to have some kind of grenadier squad that can use a Panzerfaust if they get around your MGs, because your support weapons are support weapons. You need to have the basic infantry right there. Anyway, Nick's attack's going in. I'm supporting with my MG42 here. And you can see, you know, because these guys were suppressed, Nick's men are doing quite a lot of damage. They even killed that whole conscript squad right there. Conscripts are getting pinned. Unfortunately, these guys had to fall back pretty much. I do like that they're using the cover. That's very smart of them using the cover that's here. And they have a Maxim moving up. And Juicebox is harassing their field on the left side. He's trying to take that away from them, which is good. Anyway, back up to here. We have we're getting flanked here. You know, I'm starting to lose men on my MG squad, so I gotta withdraw back. Otherwise, I'm gonna be in trouble. I don't want to lose that squad. And basically, yeah, I just gotta fall back there. So these guys start to shoot my men here. So they get suppressed and they get pinned. So I just move my pioneers here, and they're just gonna start killing these units point blank. Look how fast their health gets, you know, deteriorated by these. You know, it's basically getting destroyed by these pioneers, and they just wiped out basically almost a full conscript squad. Now this guy was doing some damage to the MG, but not necessarily enough. And to further prevent light vehicles and other kind of vehicles coming up to this hill, I'm going to start laying down some mines. Mining is very useful. It can be very easily countered, though, with the basic, you know, hazard removal kit. I think it's different per faction. Like, let's hop over to these guys right here. Never mind. This is... yeah, it's the same for all of them. But here's what makes my mining a little bit different than just a standard mine. I have machine guns that are aimed specifically at where the mines sweepers would go. So that makes it pretty hard for these guys to just easily take this guy's out. And look at this. My grenadiers, not a single man lost to this full squad of combat pioneers, and they're dead. Now, grenadiers should succeed at long range. They do have the bolt action, but they're basically the exact same. Actually, I take that back. The combat pioneers, the Soviets, are cheaper units, so more so the unit should win after all. Then I get, you know, I have the Soviet snipers here coming after me, so I got to pull back from that engagement before I lose a lot of my guys. And then I have them have them retreat, and they go right past the snipers. And point blank, the snipers both missed their shots. I thought that was kind of funny. But there's a lot of snipers around. I'm counting 2 on the field up here. Let's count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sniper squads right now. And yeah, they're definitely fighting around here, trying to wipe out conscript squads. They're pushing off the hill mostly at this point. Anyway, the snipers are basically sniping my... oh, you know what they're doing? They're shooting right into this area. I have put down some S-mines here. But look at how quickly these snipers get killed by the MG42. It makes sense. These guys are in negative cover in the middle of the road, and they got wiped out pretty quickly before we can really even respond in that situation. So these are awesome snipers over there. More snipers are moving up. When you have those guys that are really good at micromanaging snipers, they are the biggest pain to deal with. Those can be very frustrating to kill those sniper squads. I'm not that good with micromanaging snipers, so I usually avoid them. And I am teching up now. I do have some Pioneer squad just standing here because I'm going to build a support armor core so I can get some Panzer IVs to deal with these guys. But look at that grenade. Not as upsetting as you think in a trench like that. But Nick is forced to pull back again. They're consolidating on the hill. One thing they are lacking, though, is no AT guns. They built a lot of fuel caches. They have 3 fuel caches. We have none so far. And I don't know why he has another squad up there. I guess he's trying to scout for some of his snipers. But I'm just going to make this hard. So I have a mine here, and I have a mine there for vehicles. I have S mines here. I'm going to put another mine there. I'm just going to make this, you know, part of the, you know, the Germans had some lines in Italy. The Siegfried line, I think that was one of the lines they had, one of the last lines in the Alps. So I'm kind of making it like a, you know, we're going to defend this hill, basically, and make it very hard. And by having all these defenses I've set up, it makes it easier so I can start gathering troops to push the center. I'm going to push the center with Nick here. I'm gathering some forces. I'm going to get some Panzer Grenadiers right here, and I'm going to get a Panzer IV to help support our attack. So Nick so far has been pretty much being back from the center. He wasn't getting doubled, though. You can see that the purple and orange player are right there. And they're trying to snipe me. But yeah, another. Oh, that was a little bit of lag. Another sniper was killed right there on the road. I mean, if it wasn't bad enough that you have one MG nest right here, you now have two MGs. You have the stationary MG, the guy on the right. Oh, looks like an MG. And then you have the guy on the left with the MG42. Thought this was an MG42 upgrade. They look different. I guess this is a bigger magazine for the MG42. It almost looks like an MG34. Weird. Either way, they're in trouble in a crossfire there. So I'm holding that guy off. So I'm gathering all my forces up here. Panzer IV coming out. I do have some pioneers. I'm going to repair Nick's Kuppelwagen here. And I also got flamethrowers for my guys. So we should be able to push into the trenches here with the flamethrowers. They were invented in World War I, the flamethrowers. So basically dealing with the trench warfare. So that's a good thing. You can see the Panzer Grenadiers with their MP44s moving up. Taking more territory on this side here. And yeah, you have a little bit of the purple players moving off. The pink player hasn't really done a whole lot in this game. He's making more snipers, which is... oh, now he's making some penal troops. I do want to point out, this is this guy's first game. He's level 1, so I wouldn't be too hard on him. It's his first game. No one's good on their first game. I mean, I won my first game, but you know, that was during the beta. So especially when you're coming into a game this late, you know, this game's been out for a while, you know, good for him for sticking around to the end and playing. So, Nick is going to launch an attack right here along the trenches with artillery, and the infantry are going to go forward. This is like a World War I assault on the trenches over no man's land. All the forces are moving up. There is smoke down here, flamethrowers. Men are being suppressed. Oh, so there's a Panzer IV. Didn't have that in World War I. And with all the number of troops here, this MG cannot suppress them all. And this one is not properly turned. And yeah, we basically just overwhelmed the center here. And he's going to throw... That conscript was very unhappy. He threw his dying breath, he threw an anti-tank grenade at me. And Nick is going to move up with his Oswin right outside his juice box with his Oswin. Like I say, he's got some pretty cool skins on there for his Oswin. My tanks, you know, I have the classic kind of skin. These guys are anti-tank. I don't know what they're going for. They seem to just be like on some kind of weird suicide mission or something. I was able to get my guys repaired thanks to Nick's engineers right there. The Storm Pioneers. Engineer and Pioneer are basically the same thing in this game. They both repair tanks.
Half-track has arrived.
Anyway, I have a half-track to help reinforce my men up the front here. And now, I used to use these all the time, the Su-76. This is great against, you know, it's a support gun, right? It's an assault gun. So it's great against infantry as that barrage capability. It's usually better when there's armor to get an Su-85 out. I'm not saying I won't flank around him. Anyway, at this point, you know, we have some conscripts here. You know, we're in the trenches now. We've taken control of this hill. We're controlling the left victory point also. And I'm just shooting at their fuel caches at this point. I want to get rid of them. They spent, you know, money on this fuel cache. They spent manpower on this fuel cache, so they might as well get rid of it. You can see there's some recon up in the air. And my men are nicely reinforcing out of the half track right here. Or they will be. He managed to pick off my MG team without me noticing. So that's a little sad. These are going to be in trouble themselves because they're going to be shooting into the bunker. And that's not going to go too well. And they're already suppressed. So I've taken care of that fuel cache. Now I know there's one right here. Remember my rule about try not to build fuel caches that are really close to the enemy, or you don't have like a territory in between. Like this is let's go to the map here. This is a good spot to build a fuel cache right here because you're going to be controlling this section usually. Like a good spot for a fuel cache would be like right here, not right here. Right here's a good spot. You know, you don't want to be, because the enemy, like, I can just drive my tank right here and kill that, and there's 200 manpower down the drain. Anyway, I was not the guy with the snipers killing my machine gun crew once I realized that. So I just sent my Panzer IV to kill that sniper. And you can see their health is getting, pretty quickly getting deteriorated. It's going pretty low. And that's when an AT gun comes out, and I'm like, oh boy. Especially having, you know, I was unrestricted on that side till the AT came. He's going to pull back here. I don't know if Juicebox... if anyone knows what they're saying in Russian, if it's not too crude, you put it in the comments. But I was kind of curious to know what they're saying about me. Anyway, all my fours are coming around this side, and I have another Panzer IV coming out here in a second. So I'm going to repair my tank, get ready for an assault. So the plan is to have the Grenadiers, Panzer and regular Grenadiers, to flank around this side, go up to the AT, and I will have the tanks moving from this side and shot the ATs. Now, I do realize there's 2 ATs here at this point, at some point here, so you know, I'm aware of what I'm going against, so I got to be a little bit careful. Anyway, let's go to the left side of the battle before I do that assault. You can see a lot of Soviet presence over here, and they have pushed back. Juice Box is forced to retreat. Anyway, now for the grand assault. Oh yes, and I have the half track with the flame upgrades. So unfortunately, my men are a little too slow. I didn't time this exactly perfect like I wanted. My Panzer IV is in a little bit of trouble here. But you can see the flame half track with the lower infantry health obviously got a buff. I mean, I don't know if there's lower infantry health, but it just seems the way units take damage. I know I read all those patch notes, but units just seem to die much quicker. Like, look how quickly this squad died. Now, it is under fire from a lot of things, but it's a little ridiculous. So I've secured this side and taken out 2 enemy AT guns, so they're really only having success on this area right here in the north. And Usebox once again has some recon up. Let's switch on to his doctrine here. Just kind of seeing what they have. You can see it's recon plane obviously provides you with intelligence.
We are losing a sector.
They have a 120mm mortar right there. All it has to do is really land in one of these fields and it sets off everything. What I love doing with the S minefields is running like a T-34 through them, and it's just like they don't do any damage to the T-34. You know, they're anti-personnel mines after all. And I'm having my own little recon. I'm trying to see what they have at their base. And, you know, when there's enemy tanks close to you, I would not recommend firing off a Katusha. Especially at Nick. Because I know where your rocket launcher is right now. And think about it, look how close. I mean, he doesn't know I'm that close, but he knows I'm roughly around this area. And when you fire, this is a new guy, so he's level 1. When you fire, you better just move if you're that close to the enemy, because he stands no. He said a little bit too late. He sees, you know, no chance there. Anyway, he's cursing, I think. I don't know what that means. Is that even Russian? I don't know. Someone tell me what language that is, because we had Russian in the beginning, and now we got something else. Anyway, I see an AT, so I'm blitzing. They slowed down my blitz. I do not like that. I like the blitz how it was. I don't want this movie to be like bashing Going Imperials 2 now, but I'll tell you my opinion about some of the stuff they added here. By slowing down blitz, I disagree with it. Because I love blitz. Blitz was a great tactical thing I used to do a lot. It just felt slow. I mean, we're on the dirt road. It's not like we were on any of the mud areas. They even get rid of the... They did get rid of the mud areas in Hill 330. Okay, anyway, I'm trying to pull back here. I see their forces are coming against me. I see 15 minutes cheers or something like that. Nick, this is gutsy when your students boost that far up. So I started getting shot at by a lot of tanks. So I lost mine because I didn't see the Su-85, and I'm like, okay, it is time for me to leave. I managed to destroy that. I'm going to start withdrawing some forces here. And I'm throwing smoke down. The blitz is it's not helping me that much, but I am gaining some distance on that guy. Now I'm going to keep my Grenadiers here to hit that T-34 with the Panzerfaust, which is slightly cheaper because I have the bolts for that. I'm going to try to get the hell out of here. Now the Su-85 is going to be slow, and Nick did not see me pulling back that quickly. I should have tried to warn him, but oh, I guess he saw. He had his tank right here. And he's got a, it's too little, he's in trouble. Actually, the Su-85 is turning for some reason away from the primary target, going for the Panther. He should get that out of there. Devastating blow to Nick right here, losing the Panther and the Alright, so we're reeling a little bit. We've lost, I lost the Panzer IV. My infantry's all the way back at base, you know, gonna get refit and getting back to the battlefield. And G-Spox has a command tank, interesting enough. You can see the little Panzer commander on top looking with his binoculars, looking for those Bolsheviks, right? Yeah. Anyway, they're coming after me here, and I'm like, okay. This is not a fight I want to take against the T-34-85, because even though I am Veteran C2, it's you know, I'm getting its rear armor actually. That's a good fight right now, but there's an Su-85 here, and I managed to destroy my engineer, so I can't really do anything. All I can do is hope to lure him onto that mine, which I did. So I know, you know, they have a lot of tanks right now. Here's what they're going to do. They're going to try to destroy my defenses along here, and they're going to try to push out, basically. However, my plan is, when they do that, my Tiger that just came out right here, and my Panzer IV, once they get healed up, they're going to sweep in behind these guys and trap them in these narrow passes here. And they will hit some mines. That's inevitable. And then they got some mortars here also. So Juicebox has neutralized the victory point on this side, and it's a nice little anti-infantry force. You know, if the T-34s or T-34-85s came after me, I'd be in trouble. No repairs yet on this T-34-85s, even though he does have engineers present.
Under attack.
Thanks once again to Nick for repairing my tank there. It's quite useful as my engineers are currently grabbing another half track here. You know, I was very sad about losing the first one, and the great thing is, as I'm reinforcing back here, when I reinforce this squad, I will be able to transfer them quickly to the front lines to have kind of like a more mobile defense force. More of a mobile strike force, having this mechanized infantry basically with the half track. Anyway, they're finally taking this sector back. This guy, because he's about one, can secure. Yeah, he can go to secure mode. So he basically can't fire, but he can neutralize the point. I don't think he actually... I think he just neutralized it. They might be able to capture. I don't really use that too much. Anyway, I know I'm just going to start losing the hill here. I pull my MG back to a position up here to kind of slow him up even more. But honestly, this is what I was waiting for. I'm going to let them get a little bit further in the pass here. This is basically a trap. By the way, I also have an AT right here positioned, so I'm going to try to kill as many of these guys as we can. Infantry's going in first, obviously, to scout to make sure I'm not going to get surprised. And they're going right after my MG42. I'm going to try to pull them out of there. Surprisingly, they haven't hit any of the mines I laid right here. But, like I said, the trap is closing in on these guys. He's trying to turn his Su-85, which is smart. I'm not sure what I was going to do. We've now surrounded these guys, basically, and look at all the... Look at this. We have two, you know, Volksgrenadier squads with Panzer Straks. We have an AT, my own guys with Panzer Straks, a Tiger and a Panzer IV, and they're trapped in a pass. They are in trouble right here. So once all these ATs, you know, come about, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. I'm going to pull back because I don't want to lose my Vet 2 tank. I'm just going to allow these Grenadiers to start taking some shots. But look at this, they're a little grouped up here near the smoke, and they got completely wiped out, the whole squad. Now you'd think they would be completely stuck here, but they managed to get around everybody, which is surprising. I think that smoke backfired on me a little bit. And then look, he gets a main gun destroyed right there. I forgot he had a tank up here, and he's actually repairing. I didn't actually realize he had a tank back there in the match. Anyway, they're down to 60 victory points at this point. Get it? 60 victory points at this point. Oh, bad jokes today, Cotton. So down to 60 victory points here. I do have the mechanized force here, so I can quickly repair my tanks. We're gonna hop on out once the Panzer IV gets a little closer. And the T-34 is here. You can see he's going straight after this tank here. But I mean, this is like the wrong. You do not want to charge into this many troops here. Even though I did lose my anti-tank troops. You can see on this side the T-34 is basically gotten killed. Looks like he rammed there. Surprisingly, that T-34 is not. Just came out, just went out of control.
25 points remain.
So they brought all their tanks back to base, which is a curious thing because this guy could still fight. And that guy's 100%, you know, the match is about to be over. You might as well take your tank out and try to at least get some XP from it.
Enemy can
Either way, you know, you saw we won this basically. We way more kills than they did. And they also had a level 1 guy on their team, so. Let me know what language he was talking in. That was kind of interesting. We gave him to our opponents. They stayed to the end. They didn't rage quit, which is good. And I had a fun match, you know, getting a little bit back into it, trying to testing out the new combat. Tell me in the comments section down below, what do you think? Like, what's your opinion of Code of Heroes 2 now that they've added all these new, the way combat works? It just seems a little weird to me. I don't know, maybe I have to get used to it. Anyway, I'm really interested in your opinion down below, so leave it down below. Confirm 221 sign off. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next episode.